What's up, guys? This is Brooks Beard with King Entertainment, and this is my partner.
Hey, Sydney King here. How you doing?
Yeah, we just want to come to you guys and just give you an idea of our story and some experience we've had promoting events.
Yeah. So, we've had numerous experiences over the last, let's call it 10 years now. And, I think it's important to kind of share those with you all too, just so you know that, this isn't come without bumps and bruises. I can think back to our which would have been our first event. We actually kind of changed on it. So we ended up getting a deal. It was supposed to be for a Saturday night event, and we had been marketing the event, and let's call it 2 weeks before the actual event was supposed to happen, the owner came to us and said, "Hey, we got to change the plans. We need you guys to move your event to Thursday." And we didn't want to get off on the wrong foot, should I say. So we contemplated, like, man, did we really just switch the date and, keep it the way it is, just so we don't have to go back and tell people that our event is canceled? It won't really set the right first impression for your first event. So, we talked about it, mulled over it, and then ultimately was like, you know what, this is, it wasn't our fault that the date changed and, the owner, made a bad deal. So we ultimately said, you know what, we're going to postpone it. So then we postponed the event, and in our true first event, I'll let Brooks cover that.
Yeah. So we had an event at Presto's Bar and Grill. It was venue was like 2 levels, and the first event did we break even or
Nope.
we lost money? I think we lost like $800. And but the event was, in our eyes, a success because we had like 150 people our first event. Yeah. But we did like free before like 11.
Yeah.
It was 11:30.
Yeah.
And everybody got there before 11:30.
Right.
So, but it was a good look for us. And
the pictures were great. It looked like a ton of people came, and a ton of people did come, especially for the venue size. It just didn't generate any money. It actually cost us money to do it. So
right.
Shout out to the DJs and the photographers that were there. They got paid. We didn't.
Right. And then we had another event there, and we actually broke even that event.
Yep.
So we were like, okay, we're on the right track now. All right. And then we had another event at it was called
another spot.
It
was another spot. This is called another spot.
Yeah, it was uptown in Charlotte. It was a themed event, and that's kind of how we built our brand off doing themed parties initially. And we had what was it? It was
breast cancer awareness.
Yeah, that's right.
Breast cancer awareness.
And it was a party for pink, and everybody wore all the the pink stuff. So it was a nice event. Yeah. It turned out real great. But I think we had some bumps and bruises with that event.
Yeah, so I think it's fair to say we learned from every single one of them, but in that particular event, we learned that we need to make sure that we get the AC written in the contract as to what temperature we wanted it to be, because if not, you got some venues that don't turn the AC on, and it's 90 degrees in the middle of summer, and that's not a good impression for your guests. And we'll just leave it like that. That was our first and last time there.
Right. And so we had another event. What was it? It was
let me tell you about this one. Yeah. So we had So we had an event. We had an event. We were eager. We wanted to do something because everyone else was doing events, and this was in December. So typically it's a good month for events, and we wanted to do a New Year's Eve event. So we figured that we'll have our try at New Year's Eve and try to bring the city something that wasn't here before. Well, the venue that we solicited was not available New Year's Eve, but they did say they had a great deal for us to do an event on New Year's Day. Young, naive, didn't know that was a terrible idea, because everyone goes out the night before and drinks. And we ultimately signed that contract, and the event was a complete dud because everyone was hungover from the previous night. So funny story, they say, well, you know what? So you don't have to pay us all this money back because you missed your bar guarantee. We'll give you another stab at it if you want to do it again. Was it a week later?
Something like that.
If you want to do the same event again the following week, you can then say, hey, you can kind of go double or nothing. And we're like, well, you know, but we're already in the hole.
Right.
Let's try that. And
Yeah,
another bad idea.
But the beauty about what positive outcome came out of that was we built a relationship with them.
Sure.
And you know, we did events there 2-3 years strong.
Yeah.
I believe.
Great events.
Great events.
That actually made money. Yeah.
And that's how kind of we grew at that venue. And then we transitioned. That also brought us relationships with other venues because, you know, people start catching on. Oh, King Entertainment, man, they're doing some really nice events. So the other venues and other managers was like, yeah, we want you guys at our event space as well.
Yeah. So I think we talked about some challenging times. We've talked about some times that we all learned from it. We learned from every single one of them. But I think it's important to, you know, also talk about where we made our pivot and where we began to have some success. So I'll let you talk about that.
Yeah. But the same venue where we did the New Year's Day event, that's kind of where we started to turn the corner. And then we had some other events where we had the stoplight. Was it like the stoplight event we did?
Yeah, so for my birthday, we used to do a stoplight themed event. So you wore red if you were in a relationship, yellow if you were just mingling, or green if you were single.
Ready to go.
We kind of cut our teeth doing themed events, and you know, that became what we were known for. And you know, people started to gravitate to that because it was refreshing for the city. So that was good. But I guess, you know, what really came of us, you know, kind of standing on our own 2 feet and doing these themed events was we started to get approached by our peers that were having success already, because they saw that we were able to then, you know, bring our own crowd without, you know, the celebrity or without the marketing efforts that they had or would spend on radio and things of that sort. So then it was like, hey, these guys actually can, you know, draw a crowd. It's a great crowd, and they don't necessarily have to, you know, spend a bunch of money on advertising or radio or any of those other different mediums to get people to come. And it was value in that. So then, you know, we then formed partnerships and relationships with others that were our peers, but, you know, you would say were, you know, industry leaders in the city that we were in. So that helped us kind of turn the corner, because then we got introduced to different venue owners and different venues to kind of, you know, take our show to different places.
Right. And I think that also helped us build our brand because we were being marketed through their channels.
Yep.
Helped us grow our social media just by, you know, co-branding, co-marketing with another promotion group. That helped us. And then eventually, you know, we kind of, you know, went away from that and started scaling up to doing bigger events.
Sure.
And we just took a risk. I think we did something at the Urban Garden.
Yep.
I can't remember. It was one of those events, but yeah, it just propelled our business. And I remember another promoter told us that the bigger the event, the bigger risk, but the bigger the reward.
Sure.
Bigger reward.
Yeah. So then, you know, I think, you know, at that point, you know, we started doing our larger scale events, you know, 1,000+ people. And that kind of became our staple of doing the larger events and doing them more consistently and having branded weekends with branded events where people can expect that, you know, this particular weekend or this particular month, this event is going to happen. And, you know, I guess as you probably know, it didn't happen overnight. And I think where I believe it came from was, you know, us staying in our own lane and, you know, trying to create something that was unique versus doing what everybody else was doing, which allowed us to then create loyal patrons for our events because it wasn't a copycat of another event. But then ultimately too, we try to keep it refreshing. We'll still try to keep it refreshing so that people can, you know, look forward to an event and also look forward to, you know, the experience that comes with coming to a King Entertainment event.
Right. And you know, another thing too, we always are learning. You know, even today we invest in ourselves and in our business consistently. So that's another way that we get a competitive advantage by investing in ourselves, investing in our knowledge, investing in our business to get it to a new level. We always stay, again, innovative and try to do things different that our competitors are not doing to get ahead of the game.
Yeah, very fair. So, I guess, we've talked to you kind of about some of the experiences and what we've learned. We've talked to you about, the challenges that we've experienced as well. We talked to you about how we, found our own lane, or some people call it a niche, and stuck with that. So, there's more information we're willing to share, and, we have a way that you can get that. So Brooks will kind of tell you how to get that information.
Oh yeah, so you can either go to our Instagram, you can go to, we have a website as well. It's KingEntCLT.com. Again, KingEntCLT.com. And look at the information. You can schedule a call with us, and we can see how we can help grow your business as well.
Cool. Talk to you another side, guys. Thanks.
Peace.